Good afternoon, traders. It is June 13th and day 69 of the 100x challenge. Two accounts, 10,000 each between Tesla and Strategy. We're the first to 1 million wins. I do this every Friday. No advice, just a journey. So follow along, tap subscribe, and let's go. There is never a dull moment, it seems, when it comes to trading. War sucks. War is absolutely terrible. I can't stand to see it, but we need to know exactly how to adjust to times of war and how it could affect our trading strategies. Overall, it's been a great week. There's a lot of people that have portfolios that are down by a lot today and yesterday because of the current events. But what we did last week was exactly what I was hoping to see when it comes to Tesla. So I'll get into the trades and how everything worked out. But what we see here is about, even for strategy is just paused. It is taking breaths before we make a huge move. And so I'm just getting ready for that. Things have not gone as we had hoped, but that's okay. We have plenty of time, plenty of cash to work with. On Tesla, we are up almost $3,000. So we got some of our money back, at least vast majority of the money back that we lost last week. So that's a great sign. 14,333 is perfect. I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. Balance wise, Tesla's now up 43% compared to 30%, and Strategy's trailing the underlying just slightly. All right, what I want to do first is look at the charts. Sorry, my throat's a little messed up this week, but 328 for Tesla is what an amazing recovery. I didn't expect it to recover this much. So I'm very happy to see that we recovered almost the entire move. So if you remember last week, Trump and Elon Musk broke up, decided to talk trash publicly. The stock absolutely tanked. My strategy was that we will get back into this blue box area. I can't believe that we're exactly in the blue box area, but that's exactly what happened. So this has been great. I've definitely done very, very well on this move. When you see something like this, the opportunity is just so great that you have to at least throw a few flyers out there. And so it's worked out perfect for me on my other accounts, but on this one as well. So what do I expect from Tesla from here? Well, I'll show you how I'm going to play it, but it really depends. The whole macroeconomic environment right now is very fragile. So I really think anything could happen week to week. But long term, obviously, I'm super bullish. So, my next target is going to be right at the top here, around 370 over the next 4 weeks. I just don't know exactly if we'll get there and how we'll get there. But that would kind of be my base case, is to retest this upper zone that we just had a few weeks ago. But it could be a bumpy ride. And next week, who really knows, depending upon how things progress. And if we look over at Bitcoin, I use iBit. We could use Bitcoin itself, standby. Okay, if we look at Bitcoin, where it's at right now. So we had the missile attack, and this is the big red candle to signify that. Now it's really about what the markets decide Bitcoin is. If it's gold, if it's anything like gold, we wouldn't have seen this big red candle. So we're not quite the flight to safety that everybody in Bitcoin wishes that Bitcoin was. However, I do think that these type of moves are great for buying, and I think that we continue to trickle upwards. And look at how sideways we've been going. Here's really where I'm very, very bullish. We made this very strong move from this low on April 10th, and in just 2 months we're already back up to 105. We are essentially knocking on this resistance door anywhere between 108 and 112. And so this is the next target for me. I think that we can get to this blue box within the next few weeks. Maybe I'll extend it a little bit more, but I think by the end of July, I expect us to be here. And it's June 13th, so that gives us about 6 to 8 weeks. We'll see if this happens. For now, we're taking a break. We made this move. We're going sideways. That's great. We haven't gone down below 100,000. In fact, we tapped it and then went straight up. So we almost tapped it again, but again, we stayed above 100,000. So I feel pretty good that we have so much buying pressure. I don't see us going too much lower unless there is just bad news all around on the war front and somehow the United States gets more involved. So for now, I'm very bullish. I'm definitely more bullish than I am bearish. Okay, let's look at the portfolio. And I'll start with strategy here. Strategy is right around 380 right now. I have this bull spread that I took about 3 weeks ago. It has failed. So I've been swinging and missing on these very inexpensive bull spreads. These are very high upside bull spreads that could give me 8-1 on my money. And, I expect to lose probably half the time. And I'm going to hit one of these. So the move that I make next is going to be a little bit more aggressive. It's going to cost a little bit more than the last two that I've done. And let's get into it now, actually. So I'm going to make this quick because I have 2 trades I need to do today. But this is what I'm thinking for strategy. Strategy is at its lowest implied volatility ever in its history. Or let's say within the last year. That's all the data I have is within the last 52 weeks. So we're at about a 50, ranging at a 50 IV when the normal is right around 100. So this is insane to me. I think taking advantage of this and being as bullish as I am, knowing that if Bitcoin rises to this blue box, that strategy is probably going to go to 450 to 500. So it's pretty crazy that I can get a 400 strike on July 18th for only $1,700 or $17.97. So I'm going to buy this, and I'm actually not going to make it a spread. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait at least a week, maybe 2 weeks until the price actually reaches this zone. Once it does reach that zone, then I'll consider selling a call that's either a covered call or a covered spread on this particular date. And so this is the position I'm taking here. 1785. I think there's a really decent chance, better than 50%, that we can get far above 400 by July 18th. In fact, I'm targeting about 500 by July 18th or higher. I just think once we get the move, then it's going to go fast. We're just waiting for that move to happen. So first line of the day, our first agenda item of the day is to close this, and let's lock in that July 18th 400. Okay, we're going to get $61 back. I'll take it. There we go. Okay, so now July 18th 400. July 18, we're going to buy the 400 at 1770. Looks good. $1,770. I have about $5,000 cash. And so this will take up about a third of that. Again, I will be selling a call later to get some of that money back, no matter what. There we go. All right, so we are done with strategy. These other positions haven't touched in weeks, and don't plan on touching those anytime soon. So let's go ahead and switch over to the other account. All right, here's the Tesla account. So Tesla's 327. Last week when we made this trade, I believe Tesla was 295. And I did a covered call at 320. I usually set my covered calls at or below, sometimes far below the strike price. In this case, I was very bullish that we'd get some sort of rebound, and I got pretty damn close to the price right now. 327 versus 320. So we made the full amount that we could possibly make back on this position. The only better way that we could have made more is if I set it to 325, maybe 330. But this is about as close as you can get. So super happy with this. I'm going to close it out in a second here, but let me show you what I have planned for next week. So right now it's 327. Instead of going super aggressive, let's say out of the money in hopes that it continues going higher, with all the tensions that are happening right now, I'm going to just stick near the money. So 320, it'll be slightly lower than the current price. So we're going to buy the 260, which is a 90 delta, and sell the 320, which is right around a 62 delta. And that's going to get us anywhere between about $500 to $600 in profit as long as we can stay above 320. Break-even price will be 312, so we got some room here to play with if we get a correction next week. So we're buying the 7-Eleven, 260, selling the 320. All right, let's get back. Let's go ahead and close this first. Okay. All right, that's sold. Okay, we're going to start with the first leg, which is 260, 7-Eleven. Okay, buying 260, 7-Eleven, and we're selling the 320 for 620, which is next week. Total of 56.25. 56.25 looks perfect. All right, you can see the great spread and great put are looking pretty good. The Tesla account's somehow doing much better than strategy. Part of it is how I positioned this particular account. If I was going to guess, I would say strategy will overtake Tesla's account at some point. Just not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but I am a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin over the next, let's say, 3 months than I am on Tesla. I think Tesla creeps up and it should do great, but there's so much more good news coming from Bitcoin, in my opinion. All right, they want a little bit more than what I'm offering. I'm going to have to replace this. Okay, finally. All right, we're done. So we've got our new positions in. We'll see what happens, but you know, throughout all of this, I think that I'm handling this as well as I can. The ups and downs are really, really tough to navigate. But overall, I think that everything's going great with this experiment. Hope you guys find the content enjoyable. Hope you're learning something with me. But, you know, come back next week. Let's see what happens. It's June 13th. Have yourself a good weekend, and I'll see you next time.